What was your most meaningful data in your session? I had a good hit here, and actually everything seemed meaningful. Whittley Strieber had a medical implant done in his ear, presumably by ETs. And in terms of visuals, I produced many laboratory and ET related sketches, beakers and test tubes, lab faucets, slides organized on a table, close inspection of something small. The involvement of non-human creatures, some AI robotic looking, others more biological, big and small, that had something to do with, get this, something bright going into your body. I also got a sense a well-groomed man of prominence was involved, and repeated perceptions of things organized and laid out on a table. In terms of written perceptions, I got this incredible backstory, which I'll say more about in a moment. Probably my session analysis, that is, my written summaries at the end of session 3, were the most meaningful, and I'll get to them in a bit. What was your reaction to this session? I guess the answer to that would be both surprise and disbelief. For example, on pages 8 and 9 of my third session, I couldn't believe the data I was getting from my ideogram. So, since I work on a tablet, I copied and pasted that ideogram onto another page and tried to reinterpret it a second time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. First time around, it started with interdimensional beings. What is that? I looked it up. Interdimensional is an entity that can time travel and move out of the body into a spiritual one. Okay, interdimensional beings come here, are present, liquidating noteworthy adversaries. I asked for more information here, and it indicated they were thinning out biological exceptions. These beings had exotic energy signatures and were beyond my comprehension. Whoa. Could I believe all that? No. So I did it again. Same ideogram. This time I got interdimensional exotic life forms doing intrepid introspection. What does intrepid mean? I looked it up. It means fearless or adventurous. So they're doing fearless or adventurous introspection of indigenous life forms, and they wore visors. Then I got some feelings about having limited access to this data. And also there were some spiritual feelings and attitudes present. Wow. Did you have any weird experiences during your session? At no point did I feel uncomfortable, even though I got the message, "You're not allowed here." But I did have a weird and curious experience, and this has to do with the process of remote viewing. My ideograms seemed to be narrating a story right from the start. I was not getting disjoint adjective-like perceptions here, but fully formed, organized phrases. Humanoid beings with focused attention and holistic mindset. I don't say these words. Holistic, what does that mean? I looked it up. It means belief that the parts of something can be explained only by reference to the whole. In other words, I guess the whole universe, or everything around us, they have a holistic mindset. Holistic mindset. Holy cow. At one point, I had to stop and look at myself and ask, who's doing this session? You or me? I came to the conclusion that my ideograms wanted to speak for themselves. No thinking required on my part. I was just taking dictation. So that was my weird experience. I decided, in the interests of experimentation, to just let the session do itself. How do I feel about my data? I've never seen a remote viewing session like this. It's probably the best one I've ever done. The data was simply fascinating. I mean, I felt like I was reading a book. How do you interpret your data? I wrote 2 session summaries which convey their own interpretation. Let me read the second one. And this one came entirely from my ideogram, so here goes. Biologically enhanced ET life forms venture out into space to inhabit planets as a matter of course. These beings engage in local terrestrial life study involving many samples organized in groups. At some point, their efforts became a joint collaboration with the terrestrial populations, humans, which also involved the local military and government officials of the planet. The human involvement have their own interests in this work, which include military interests and space exploration. The ET beings are sending their results off-world with some end goal of resolving mass extinction concerns. Phew. What a session, man. What a session.